Today we are going to do a true crime video. As you may notice, I am outside. My daughter is over there doing homework. There will be nature sounds, birds, cats, deer, we've got it all. You may also hear my neighbor's children because they let them run wild in the woods, so I can't do anything about it. Also, I mean no disrespect to the victims in these cases that I'm about to cover, but we are going to focus on the crazy-ass killers. Alright. So, suspect number uno is Raymond Martinez Fernandez. He was born December 17th, 1914 in Hawaii. And Martha Jewel Seabrook was born May 6th, 1920 in Milton, Florida. Fernandez's occupation was listed as confidence trickster, which in today's terms means he is basically a fraud. And she was a nurse, although she did not have a carrying bone in her entire body. They are believed to have killed as many as 20 victims, although they were only charged with one singular murder. Their crimes happened between 1947 and 1949. They met these victims through personal ads, which is why they got the moniker the Lonely Hearts Killers. If you see me looking down, I have about 8 pages worth of notes, so that's what I'm doing. Fernandez and Beck met through a personal ad, but they each had a problematic history of their own. Fernandez served in Spain's Merchant Marines and also as a British intelligence officer during World War II. He was later injured on his way to America when a steel hatch fell on his head and caused frontal lobe damage, which can do all kinds of stuff to someone's personality because brain damage is serious. While serving time in prison for theft, he claimed that his cellmate taught him voodoo and black magic, which helped him hold power over women, which he wasn't a good-looking guy. You guys will see what I mean, so I don't know what kind of crack he was smoking, but whatever. After he was released, he began to respond to Lonely Hearts ads in order to rob his love interest. Fernandez took on the victim, Mrs. Jane Thompson. He took her to Spain. He already had a whole-ass wife and 4 kids there. Yes, an entire family. She died under shady circumstances. He told her mother that she died in a train accident, but he told everyone else that she had a heart attack. So we don't really know what happened to her. And thanks to him forging her will, he got her entire estate. And nothing was ever done criminally for this. Martha Seabrook, who is now known as Martha Beck, ran away from home when she was a teenager. During the murder trial, she claimed that she was sexually assaulted by her brother, and when she told her mom about it, her mother beat her. None of this was proven true. She became pregnant twice out of wedlock, which was scandalous back then. The first pregnancy, she said, was as a result of a fling with a service member who died during the war, but we don't know if that's true or not. And the second pregnancy resulted from a tryst with a bus driver named Alfred Beck, who did the honorable thing and married her, although that marriage only lasted 6 months, because apparently she was pretty crazy. But she did go on to keep his last name. I guess it suited her better than Seabrook. When Beck and Fernandez met, their already shady behavior took a sinister turn. Beck abandoned her own children at the Salvation Army after Fernandez told her she could stay but the kids had to go. I'm sorry, but what woman would drop her own children for some shady-ass man? There is no way in hell. Fernandez, though, saw this act as proof of her unconditional love for him and confided in her about his previous crimes. So he thinks, she loves me so much she gave up her own children, so now I can share with her that I am suspect and take advantage of other women. Sorry, I need a drink. Alright. The two then became partners in love and crime. My bad. Beck helped Fernandez, and he was more able to prey on women because they felt comfortable with Beck being there. It put them at ease, so he was able to take advantage of more women. which is not good at all. She pretended to be his sister, which is just a whole nother level of creepy. Basically, he would date women, and she would be there saying, I'm his sister. And all kinds of chaos ensued. They were ultimately only tried for a single murder, but they were suspected of killing 20 women, which, I mean, they're a match made in hell. Let's be real. The murder, which landed them in Sing Sing prison, occurred in 1949. A 35-year-old Fernandez became engaged to 66-year-old Janet Faye, who came to reside with him in his Long Island apartment. Beck found Fernandez and Faye in bed together, which sparked a fit of fury and jealousy, and Beck struck Faye upside the head with a ball-peen hammer. This savage attack didn't kill Faye. Fernandez ended Faye's life by strangling her with a scarf. During their trial, Beck claimed she had no memory. Like, oh, what? I hit that woman with a hammer? I have no idea. She stated, Fernandez told her to keep Faye quiet, and the next thing she remembered was standing over Faye's bloody body. So, you have no memory that you beat a woman with a hammer. You just remember going from, keep her quiet, to, oh, she's bloody. I don't buy that for a second. These geniuses hid Faye's body in a trunk, which they later buried in Fernandez's real sister's basement of a rental home in Queens, New York. They covered the grave, with cement, and then they hightailed it to a suburb of Grand Rapids, Michigan. Here they met another target, a woman named Delphine Downing, a widow who had a 2-year-old daughter named Raymond. The wicked pair stayed with Downing for several weeks. Downing and Fernandez became intimate, which left Beck jealous as all hell. Downing was a bright woman and realized something felt off about the entire situation. She accused Fernandez of fraud. Beck stepped in and convinced Downing to take sleeping pills to calm down and relax. Raynell, the 2-year-old, became agitated because she could sense that her mom was under stress about the entire situation. And she had a tantrum, like a normal 2-year-old would do when they feel that their mother isn't happy. Beck choked the toddler until she lost consciousness. This left obvious bruising on her neck. Some technical difficulties, sorry. My storage decided to be an ass and say, out of storage, so I had to fix that. Anyway, where were we? Fernandez and Beck stayed in the victim's home for the next couple days, planning their next move and trying to decide what to do with the 2-year-old Raynell. Tragically, they filled the container with water, and Beck drowned the toddler. As a mother, I don't see how a mother could do this. But then again, she gave away her own kids over some slimy con man, so whatever. They buried the victims in the basement and decided they would treat themselves to a romantic movie night because, after all, they deserved it. But once they returned home, the police were at the door. Beck and Fernandez were arrested for the murders of Janet Faye as well as Downing and her child, Raynell. They were only charged with Faye's murder, though, simply because New York had the death penalty and Michigan did not. Following their capture, Fernandez confessed to the killings along with several others. He did this under the guise that they wouldn't be extradited to New York, which they were, which is good. He later attempted to recant and say everything he did was to protect Beck. He was just helping Beck. Convicted of murdering Janet Faye and suspected in as many as 20 other slayings, Beck and Fernandez were executed on the same day, thanks to Old Sparky, the electric chair. They professed their love for one another until the very end, which is ironic considering their victims were just trying to find love. And that is the crazy, crazy story of the Lonely Hearts Killers. Thank you for watching. Bye, everyone.